Hey there folks, this is GreenXI welcoming you right back to Let's Play Higurashi. This is episode 176. In the last episode we had a lot to do with Mayo, typically, about her research being shut down in like 3 years and the limited budgets that's going to dwindle as the time goes on, as well as her getting really frustrated, I guess. I couldn't really figure out why she was getting drunk and stuff. I'm guessing it was the frustration from the project being shut, and how a mysterious woman, took advantage of it and made her go a bit cuckoo, I think, and give her more reason to want to get the research done. So, this one I think should open up. Raw sea urchin is something we heard about in a recent one. A big teddy bear has been bought by Satoshi, so... Okay, I am back. For some reason I started reading through one that had already been read. I don't know why. So, the next one we're going to do then. Revenge of Mayo Takano is required, we've got that. Keiichi Maibara changing schools, we got that, he's come here. So let's check out this one. Ooh! Oh, we're going to this sort of theme. With this, do I have all the pieces lined up for 1983? It sure is a hard and exhausting job, just lining up the pieces for the month of June. But finally I'm at the start line, beginning from zero at last. Yet, seeing all these colourful fragments together, I've realised just how many sentiments were intertwined around June 1983. I used to think the thoughts of people with no relation to me were useless, but I was wrong. Rika Furude did her best to overcome the fate of June 1983. She did two things. One was to get in touch with the Area Institute, because she knew she would be protected there. Ironically, Takano from the Area Institute was the one who wanted to kill her, but it was the best move for her at the time. And the other was to ensure that the Maibara family moved to Hinamazawa. It actually wasn't certain that the Maibara family would move here. They first decided to move here when the father felt something sentimental at the sight of us on the day he came to view the properties for sale. They thought it was necessary for us to play in that field. It was the trigger for the Maibara family's move. Took me so long to find that out though. After turning various conditions on and off repeatedly, I finally realised that meeting Keiichi's father at that field was the cause. Maibara Keiichi is a very important key for breaking Rule Z, one of the chains that was binding me. He's the fresh air that's powerful enough to break all the old and evil customs in this village. He created many opportunities, but he also provided me with an important clue by letting me know that a strong conviction and the will to believe is what's important in standing up against a powerful fate. But I wasn't the only one who wanted him here. People in the Sonzaki family who wanted to wipe out the nastier traditions of the village also wished for him. Yeah, cleaning out all the old people and bringing in some fresh air kind of thing. Mion Sonzaki vowed to herself to protect Satoko and Satoshi because she was very much bothered by how irrational the treatment of the Hojo family was. And on the night Satoshi Hojo disappeared, she exploded at Oyu Sonzaki and voiced her true feelings. Oyu Sonzaki understood. Oyu, herself, had come to understand the wicked customs of the village and had been wanting to do something about it. But she didn't have the power to do so herself, so she entrusted it to the fresh air that was blown in from the outside. That was why the lots went on sale, so the Maibara family could move in. Even if I danced in that field, if Oyu hadn't put the lots on sale, Keiichi couldn't have come. No, there's no way to live. And Ren of Ryugu, who provided many important opportunities for Keiichi Maibara, was saved by returning to Hinamazawa after the deep emotional trauma of her parents' divorce sent her into terminal condition. Keiichi Maibara's wish to restart his life was the same wish Ren of Ryugu had a year prior. Maybe that's why Rena was able to understand Keiichi. It's like the miracle where one can recognize moments in a certain fragment from another fragment. If they can use the lessons learned from one fragment, then humans won't make those mistakes. The game pieces will make their best moves, and the chances of winning this game from June 1983 will rapidly increase. In other words, Ren of Ryugu makes extremely important moves on this game board without realizing it. The mighty Rule Z that surrounded the Hojo siblings was eventually smashed by their actions. Of course, Sadako overcoming herself was also a big help. Their hands met only because they reached from both sides. Keiichi and Rena are the ones who taught me that. Mion is the one who made it possible for them to move here, and she also helped them to become familiar with the village. That's not all. Irie is also an important piece with significant functions of his own. Feeling empathy for Sadako, he is the most influential piece on the board we call Hinamazawa Syndrome. His existence is capable of defeating Rule X. Keiichi and Rena's determination and subsequent awakening taught us that it was possible to fight against Rule X, but they didn't defeat it. Defeating Rule X requires the existence of Irie, who has a strong will to discover a cure for the syndrome. I didn't know Irie held this many thoughts within him. I always thought he was rather absent-minded, but he is, in fact, an important and powerful piece. So if we gather all his power, can we win against Takano's will? I've seen Takano's thoughts too. Sadly, her will is strong, can't easily be broken. It's no wonder our fate in June 1983 has been so hard to shake, no matter how hard we fought. The sentiments I've been turning towards it pale in comparison to how many she's brought into it. The weight of our game pieces are different, because I've given up on fighting, while she is risking her life to fight on. I've spent time sulking and drinking wine to escape from reality. I must be a very light piece indeed. I can't win against Takano with what I have so far. 2 secs. I'm back. I can't win against Takano with what I have so far. I need more pieces to be able to win. The officer Oishi once showed the possibility of becoming a strong ally, but he's under the misunderstanding that the Sonzaki family caused the death of his dear friend, so until that gets resolved, he won't be of any help. I don't know how I can resolve that misunderstanding, but I just have to believe in it and keep throwing the die. Just like Keiichi and Rena constitute a chance to change fate, maybe Akasaka has the power to create the chance as well. The curse of 1983 is tied to the curse of Hinamazawa. A curse can't be broken by inner power alone. It takes power from outside as well. Both sides have to reach out, otherwise the hands won't meet, just like what happened with Sadako. But Akasaka has never come to our aid. Even if he did, it was always too late. Too late. Far too late. But if I keep throwing the die, will Akasaka's game piece eventually appear? The final rule, Rule Y, involves the evil masterminds who are using Takano as their own game piece. To defeat them, I need a very strong opponent for her, and the only one I can think of is none other than Akasaka from the police headquarters in Tokyo. There are more pieces who would lend me their power. I need to gather them all, otherwise I can't win against Takano. The preparations of the game board is complete, but I need more pieces. It's only the beginning. Haha, okay. That was a nice little bit actually to sort of pull everything together and see what she's thinking, because we've had a lot going on, but it's all been within the world. We haven't seen what she's thinking and all that. Sorry about all the sort of disruptions. I've been cutting them out, but it's still a pain in the arse. I thought if I'd woken up at or started recording at about, 9:15, everyone would be downstairs and have breakfast and all that, but they still seem to be around. Game board must be set up, and we got a few of those, and we've just been told that they have been set up, so I guess we'll start with this one, a Fragment of Himatsubushi, just because it's the next one in line. So let's go. This piece is the only one that's so distorted. That's because it's from long before June 1983. Therefore, the existence of this piece has no effect whatsoever in the game we're playing on this board. But is this really a useless piece? The identity of Rule Y has been completely exposed by now. With the backing of a mighty organisation, it's powerful enough to swallow up the small solidarity of individuals. I almost give up on this game because of its irrational power. That's why I'm thinking that maybe there's a piece hidden somewhere that's strong enough to fight against such a formidable enemy. Mamoru Akasaka works at the police headquarters in Tokyo, might have the power to stand up to such a vast conspiracy. Can his power withstand even Rule Y? Just like Maibara Keiichi defeated Rule Z, will he be able to defeat Rule Y so easily? We need everyone's strength, so Akasaka's strength is needed as well. Oh, that was a quick one. Okay. At one point I was considering doing a fragment per episode, but that's okay. What have we got next? I mean, a Fragment of Himatsubushi. Was that one of them? No, that wasn't anything needed, so we'll move on to the next one then. This one's called a Fragment of Onakikushi, so let's check this one out. Oop. Oh, we're going into the actual world this time. In order for Keiichi Maibara to become a game piece that can lead everyone, there's something he has to learn about first. The piece that's very painful, pitiful, and sad. He has to learn about his friends, and he has to learn to not doubt them. He doesn't know the importance of trusting his friends. He doesn't know. Just yet. A slight mistrust grows into paranoia, and Keiichi Maibara is trapped within Rule X. At the end of Rule X, Keiichi leaves a sad note, and dies. While it may be very bitter and very painful, it's It also puts him through the process of learning something very important. Hey, Hanyu, you didn't have to apologise. In the few days he left Hinamazawa to attend his relative's funeral. Tragically, he experienced an outbreak. But I think this was necessary as his first step towards learning something important. The very first step towards smoking out Rule X and eventually defeating it. When this piece was all I had, I didn't even think of that though. Okay. Okay, so we're getting a few quicker ones. I actually appreciate that. Some could be, well, no, not too long. None of the fragments have been too long, I don't think. It's just nice to have some quick ones, I think. It must be. A fragment from Onakikushi chapter is required. So I think we can do this one now because we just checked out Kaiichi's bit. Should we try it? Yeah. This game piece has a very important meaning for us, because it showed us for the first time that it was possible to poke a hole in the fate of the June of 1983. To start from the conclusion, everything gets taken in by Rule Y at the end, and all our effort is wasted. But we're challenging the great law that governs the game board, Rule X, head on. We're using everything we've learned so far from other fragments, which prove we can defeat it. We grow by learning. In a game with no hope of winning, we can discover a slight chance of victory. This piece taught us that. With this game piece, Rule X was almost completely defeated. Kaiichi Maibara and our other friends won't be led astray by something as pathetic as the Hinamazawa syndrome and dance in tragedy any longer. It also taught us that the rules aren't indestructible and are possible to overcome. In other words, it's given us, the ones who are on the outside of the game board, hope. It's an important fragment that serves as our turning point and a trigger for everything else. Okay. Okay. Go on, let's see what's next. Game board must be set up, so that's good, and it's going to be a Watanagashi one. This game piece reminds us that no matter what happens on this game board, everything is due to the curse or the Sonzaki family pulling someone's strings. This is the one with the twins, right? No, to put it in my words, this is the piece that makes everyone aware of the existence of Rule Z. It's hard to notice with just this piece. This is a complicated fragment where Shion Sonzaki, while trapped in Rule X and mistaking it for Rule Y, is hurled about. Comes to notice the existence of Rule Z. But this is also the piece that teaches us the rules of the game board. By the way, the piece called Shion Sonzaki is a piece coming from the outside, from the game's point of view. 2 secs. By the way, the piece called Shion Sonzaki is a piece coming from the outside, from the game's point of view. She dislikes Satoko Hojo at first, but through this and another piece, she learns something important. Challenges Rule X, and then grows to be a powerful piece to fight Rule Z. She hasn't even been in this arc yet, has she? I don't think. The most ridiculous part of the fragment is that it's hidden so cunningly, and doesn't seem that way at all with just a passing glance. Learn from your mistakes. Please become a powerful piece and lend me your strength to defeat my enemies. Please do. It's all coming together. We're gonna get the big conclusion soon. I can't wait. For those who haven't seen it yet or know what the ending's gonna be like, I can't wait. Okay, next up. Need a fragment from Watanagashi, which is that one, so let's get going. Ooh! This is a piece of Shion Sonzaki, who goes mad after being taken in by Rule X. With no room for sympathy, this is such a painful piece that one can only have pity. It distinctly identifies the keyhole of the padlock called Rule Z. I love that effect on the cube, by the way. Kaiichi Maibara becomes a key himself to pry open the padlock. And as Mion Sonzaki wished for, he becomes a wind that clears out the stagnant air filling the village. This piece also teaches us an important lesson. Shion Sonzaki learns through this piece, and then becomes a strong ally for Satoko Hojo. In that way, maybe Satoko Hojo is a piece that represents the padlock for Rule Z. Unless she is saved, Rule Z can't be defeated. And when she is saved, that means Rule Z is defeated. This piece indicates only that. That's the only thing Shion Sonzaki learned by gambling her life. But now, I think that it's very important. Every time I see Satoko and Shion argue about pumpkins, I think about that. Okay, so it's Satoko and Shion's relationship, I guess we're getting out of that. Okay, I'm back again. I'm so sorry about this. What's next? I don't even know if it sort of auto-played the rest of the, that fragment now, but I can look back myself, and it would have still showed it for you, it's just it wouldn't have had me reading it out. I'm sorry if that's a pain in the ass. I've been trying all morning to get on with this. Okay, game board must be set up for Higurashi. Oh, hello. This piece shows us the existence of the unreasonable rule Z surrounding Satoko, and reveals the most powerful adversary rule on the game board, Rule Y. Can the rules X, Y and Z be seen now? The enemy we need to fight, the things we need to learn, all are gathered and revealed here in this fragment. At this point, it's impossible to reach Rule Y. Fighting against Rule Z's effect on Satoko is the best that can be done. But in this piece, we make a mistake in our approach for fighting it. The outcome we gain through erroneous means is erroneous itself. Kaiichi Maebara learned that through his own experiences. A tragedy doesn't possess the power to overcome tragedy. Violence doesn't possess the power to overcome violence. If they can grasp that, all the pieces on this game board will learn the true way to fight. But Takano is too powerful. The shocking end of this piece doesn't allow us to learn it that easily. Oh, I keep being surprised how quick these are. But, okay. On to the next one. I guess that's this page done. I want to go back through really quickly all the pages just to make sure I have done them all. And yeah, we've been through them all. So all we've got left are these two. A fragment from, so we can do this one that's really quick, and then it's just that one which everything's required, so it's going to be maybe the big conclusion, I don't know. Let's check this one out for now anyway. The game piece that uncovers the invisible Rule Y that has been pulling the strings from the beginning. Because the impression of that is so strong, it's easy to forget about something very important. We can't forget that this piece also shows the path towards destroying Rule Z. While Rika Furude lamented Rule Z as impossible to defeat, it was hardly a match for Kaiichi Maebara and the others once they learned everything they needed to. They knew the correct way to fight, and fought according to the rules of the game board. As a result, we win, and that fact is more valuable than anything for us. Kaiichi Maebara taught me a lesson. There is no need to subject ourselves to any fate. The will to believe can defeat anything. The fate that I was always subjected to was created by Mayo Takano's own conviction. So what he says is correct. To defeat our conviction, we need a stronger conviction of our own. A strong will can be pierced only by another strong will. We defeated rules X and Z, and then challenged the final rule, Rule Y, but we needed more pieces. Each piece fought at its best, but the strength of our enemy's pieces, led by Mayo Takano, were just too powerful. She didn't even give us mercy, she squished us in completely, and made us restart the game all over again. Although we lost, we didn't give up the resolve in our hearts, because we finally found the true culprit, and also found a clue for how to fight against her. We can't win with the pieces we have now. We don't have a powerful enough conviction, or strong enough will. But Hanyu and I will keep trying. We'll roll our die repeatedly, look for the greatest result, collect pieces, and try again, with a will stronger than Takano. Didn't you think of giving up several times before you got to this point? But you made it because you believed in me and followed me here. We're almost there. We can do it. Let's create the last piece. It will be the ultimate piece, and we won't need anything else. The very last piece of all. Come on, let's collect the pieces. Let's collect miracles. Please give your hopes, desires, and dreams to me. Oh, okay. So, yeah, that is everything together. We'll start the next one now, I think. Because I'm not actually sure how long this episode's been going on for. Meh. Let's just go. A fragment of Himatsubushi. 7 fragments required. Oh, here we go. After collecting miracles from all 7 fragments, I finally got hold of this one. This fragment holds our final fate. But before we take a peek, please wait for just a little bit. The fate that's inside will be decided the moment we take a peek. Have I told you about the story of the cat in the box? Is the cat in the box alive or dead? If you open the box, you'll know. But you won't know until you open it. It could be alive and it could be dead. If you can hear me out. I'm joking, I know. It's supposed to be one of those Pandora's box things. Not Pandora's box. Schrodinger's box. Schrodinger? Something like that. In other words, before you open the box, the living cat and the dead cat simultaneously coexist. And the moment you open the box and find out the truth, the incorrect answer disappears. The inside of this fragment is the same principle. The future we desire and the future Takano desires simultaneously coexist. They are opposing and denying each other. Once we take a peek, one of those futures will disappear. If we have enough pieces, we can take a look inside this fragment. But we've only had the same pieces lined up the same way on the game board, and the game under the same condition was Takano's complete victory. We've already tried that in the Higurashi fragment. We need more pieces. We need the help for a piece that's powerful enough to defeat Rule Y. Until I get hold of that piece, it's too scary to take a peek inside this fragment. But how do I get such a piece? It's a piece I've never forgotten, or never gotten hold of before. To obtain it, I need to look. Just one more time. I need one more miracle to obtain that piece. Oh, and there we go. That's all the fragment sections of this arc done, I think. Well, it is. We've been through them all. I wasn't sure if that would be the long conclusion one, or if we're going back to like normal chapter style now. I guess we are. Ooh! Leftover fragments. Do you need the final miracle? Okay, before we start that, because I get psychic vibes. That's going to be where things are all going to start concluding. So, I'm going to save, and we're going to end the episode here, regardless of how long it is. And next time, we'll go for the leftover fragments. See what happens. This has been GreenyXI. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in a wee bit when we go for leftover fragments. See you in a bit, folks.